Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I honestly could not wait to do this list, especially after Avengers Infinity War. I wanted to do a top 10 best Marvel MCU villains list. And I know this is subjective. I know that everybody's going to have their own version of their list. That's why it's fun to do. I want to mention a couple of, I guess technically they don't count because they're from the Netflix world. Killgrave, David Tennant from Jessica Jones, is amazing. He is scary. His powers are unique. Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, is, come on, it's Kingpin, finally, in a Marvel universe, mostly dealing with Daredevil, but, like, if they put him in a Spider-Man movie, I would be ecstatic, and then I'd be okay putting him on this actual list. And really quick, Cottonmouth, I want to mention, from Luke Cage. That actor had a presence about him. Number 10, Red Skull. Red Skull, played by Hugo Weaving in Captain America, the First Avenger. Not only is Hugo Weaving just a great actor, so to get him, to cast him to play a Nazi leading just maniac, perfect, perfection. I know Hugo Weaving did not like doing the movie, or did not like the makeup, or didn't get along with the director. Whatever the case is, he never wanted to come back, and that sucks, sure, but it's worth it that we still got one great performance. Number 9, Nebula. Maybe a little controversial because she's not so much a villain anymore, but Karen Gillan, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, she's very much a villain. She's Ronan's right-hand gal. She's doing everything that she has to do for him. She's obsessed with wanting to kill Thanos and then kill her sister Gamora. You get a whole lot more of that in Guardians 2. I love the one scene where she reveals what Thanos did to her and what fuels her anger, what makes her so obsessed over this, because that's when she has dimensions. The first movie, she's just kind of, she's a character, she's there. It's the second movie to where you feel for her, where you see the pain that she must be going through. Number 8, Monger. Jeff Bridges from Iron Man 1. Obadiah Stane. Nobody talks about Obadiah Stane from Iron Man 1, and I don't know if it's because ever since then the Marvel movies have gone more fantastical, have gone bigger with some of the villains, so a more human villain doesn't interest people as much, or doesn't retain. But Jeff Bridges, great actor, 1. Number 2, he has a personal connection to Tony. He kind of became a father figure to him once his actual father died, as far as running the company goes. And then the reveal, because Jeff Bridges, sure, it's not far-fetched to think of him as a villain, but he does come off so likable in certain scenes between the two of them. It's like you're not necessarily really thinking him being a villain, but when it's revealed, it's like, that's messed up. 7, Alexander Pierce, Robert Redford from Captain America, the Winter Soldier. It's Robert Redford, for God's sakes. They casted somebody who you never thought would be in a Marvel film, and not just that, having him in such a distinguished role in S.H.I.E.L.D., one of the head founders of S.H.I.E.L.D., and his friendship with Nick Fury. They did such a good job of subverting you from thinking maybe he's a villain, maybe he's doing this and that. Like, I was surprised seeing his connection with Winter Soldier, seeing him be a part of Hydra. 6, Zemo. Daniel Bruhl from Captain America Civil War. Here's another villain that people don't give enough credit. Some people talk about his plan and how it doesn't make sense, and how, oh, he must have planned out everything. Like he's Jigsaw. He just knew it. He knew to coerce the heroes and get them from point A to point B. And it's like, no. This is a guy who lost his family in Age of Ultron, in Sokovia, and he's just desperate. And he, for years now, has taught himself, trained himself to methodically not only go after who he needs to go after to get the information that he wants, but he knows he physically can't do anything to the Avengers, so he pits them against each other. Look, it's not as if he created this issue all on his own. The Sokovia Accords were going to happen whether he was involved or not. Ideological differences between Cap and Stark, that was going to happen either way. It was Zemo pushing these buttons, helping them along the way to make it more personal. Yeah, he reveals that Bucky was behind Stark's parents' death. So sure, that helps. 5, the Vulture. Michael Keaton just killed it, man. I remember before Spider-Man Homecoming, when that was really when people were talking about the villain problem, and Marvel just doesn't really have great villains. And then Michael Keaton shut everybody up. Great actor, of course. Michael Keaton, who was a hero for so many years to us, seeing him play a villain was so natural. He was so good at it. The reveal of him being Liz Allen's dad, still one of the best reveals in a Marvel film. Just that opening the door scene and Peter Parker's reaction, the scene of him driving them to the dance and the conversation they have. It's still the most chilling, uneasy moment. Number 4, the Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan. It was one of those situations where even though I knew what was going to happen to Bucky after First Avenger, I knew he was going to come back, I knew he was going to be brainwashed and be a villain from the comics, but still to see how it played out, to see how good the reveal was, to see how he was in the Winter Soldier mask and the metal arm, and just he had a Terminator-like vibe about him. He was all about the mission. He was willing to kill and do whatever he had to do. He was cold. He was scary. And then you get more layers behind him when you find out it is Bucky, when you find out he is connected to Rogers, when you see that he's having these flashes and these memories and he can't control it, but he also doesn't know. And so he, at the end, when he's punching Cap in the face and Cap won't fight back and he chooses to save him in the water. Again, multi-dimensional characters here. Number 3, Eric Killmonger. This is Michael B. Jordan from Black Panther, and it was hard. It was hard to not make him even higher. I think the fact that he was only in 1 movie is the only reason why he's not any higher, because Michael B. Jordan, great. That goes without saying. Just great performance. But his motivation is the most sensible, is the most relatable, is the most like, yeah, I'm actually kind of sort of on his side here. Going to Wakanda and being like, wow, you guys aren't even trying to help black people over there. You're not even, you're squandering your technology, you're being selfish, you're doing this and that. Now sure, he takes it a step further, wanting to commit genocide and kill every leader or every white leader out there, and that's a little too far. A little bit. Number 2 is Loki, Tom Hiddleston. He gets the benefit of being in how many movies at this point? He's been in so many of them, and he's gone through such an arc of, at the beginning, Thor 1, he's kind of a whiny brat who is complaining about not being the king. He wants to be the king, but Thor is the next in line. You find out his backstory, that he was lied to about being a frost giant, and him losing trust in Odin. Avengers, where he's leading an army against Earth, and he's doing some heinous, despicable things there. Thor 2 is when he starts to turn around, and because of the death of his mother, he's like, all right, maybe I will work with Thor, but I'll also fake my death, lie to Thor, so that I can trick him to go to Earth, abandon Asgard, so I can become the king. Again, twisted. And then Thor Ragnarok, he's faking, pretending to be the king. He wants all this power. He turns on Thor so many times, it's not even funny. Even him stealing the Tesseract at the very end, it's like, even if he turns good, there'll still be a huge part of Loki that can't help himself, that has to do things for his own good, for his own well-being, and that's what we love about him. But number 1 for the all-time best Marvel MCU villain, it's probably obvious. Yes, it's Thanos. Thanos is big, bad, and scary. Josh Brolin just embodies this brute force of a dude who not only is unstoppable in so many ways, not only is capable of doing things damn near by himself, but to see how he believes in what he's doing, how he thinks he's creating balance in the world, how he thinks killing half of life is a good thing, and how far he's willing to do to make it happen. He's willing to kill the one daughter he ever loved, how he treats his actual daughter Nebula. Just so many layers behind Thanos. I can't believe that Sure, we've seen him sprinkled out in after credit scenes or certain scenes here and there where he didn't do a whole lot, but when he finally does get here, when he does get essentially introduced, and how much screen time they gave him, how much time, effort, and care they put into building him up to be such a credible threat. And this is just part one. We still have more story to tell with Thanos. Who knows if he'll ever be dethroned as the best villain after seeing him once again, because he won in his movie. Spoilers. Sorry. He is successful. He's like the only villain to ever defeat not only just a hero, but all of the heroes. And we'll probably never see something like this ever again. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of my top 10 MCU villains list. Do you agree with the list? Do you have your own versions? Who's your #1 favorite villain? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!